You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. Whoa. Josh, I think we might have missed one here on our celebrations today. I'm just looking at this list here, and yeah, I can't get my board to work, so that's a whole different story. Okay, that one worked right there. Okay, in any event, today is Be Bald and Be Free Day. Oh, I guess there's a reason that you didn't put that one on there, right? I mean, I'm just throw that out there for you. Be bald and be, well, yeah, I guess I'm not fully bald. I got George and Charlie over here, but got a couple of hairs left. Okay, today is National Dessert Day. Now, that's one that I can really get behind. National Dessert Day. Okay. Real Sugar Day. If you're in the banking world, I guess in the banking world, you get all these different holidays. And I guess some of the banks are getting tired of all the holidays too. I think I saw that one of the banks is not even closed today. It is Columbus Day. Schools are opened. The bond market is closed. The Federal Reserve is closed. Government can't do any damage. They're not working today. Well, maybe they can. I mean, they can generally find something that they can mess up on. National Kick Butt Day today. Okay, well, I see that the bond market is closed. It's not that I had to look for it. I know it's closed. But the stock market, Dow Jones Industrial Average, that one there is up 178 points right now. That's a good news story for those that are invested. And anybody that thinks you're not invested in the stock market, so you don't care about the stock market, do you not have a 401k? What's that invested in? S&P 500 is up 40.5 points. NASDAQ is up 148 points. Oil down $1.75 a barrel. I don't know if that means that we're going to get any better gas prices because we are in the formerly Golden State and there is new legislation. So, the state wants to try and get rid of all electric cars. I'm sorry, all gas cars. How's that working out for you, Florida, with no electricity? North Carolina, some of those areas where the power lines are still down, and we do not celebrate that at all. We are very, very sad to see that is the case for those folks, and we do everything we can to help them. But something? The gas-powered cars, they're getting gas moving right back into those areas. And I'm looking right now, the current gasoline price here in California, $4.68 a gallon of gasoline in California. $3.20 is the national average for a gallon of gasoline. So here's the news, though, from our lovely governor and the legislature. Keep voting for those people. So here's the issue. Because of the desire to get rid of all of the gas cars. Josh, I don't know if you heard this. This probably didn't come out in Vegas. Another 65 cents a gallon is what they're looking for in taxes and fees they want to add to the cost of a gallon of gasoline. 65 cents. We already have 28% is in our taxes and fees right now on a gallon of gasoline. 28%. And yeah, they want to add another 65 cents for us. Isn't that lovely? Let's move right along, see what else is going on. What other good news do we have in the markets today? Well, we're watching the federal rate cuts. We did talk about that a bit last week. And I was just on a call earlier this morning. Yes, I have no life, so I get on calls at all different hours. So I was on a call with a large company. They're coming to California. Well, it's a real estate company, and they have not been in California yet. They're coming to California either the end of this month, because they're based out of Florida. Things have gotten pushed back a little bit. But boy, they've got some real exciting new things, and I believe it's going to take a lot of California real estate by storm. But they were talking about the idea of what's happening with prices and real estate values and what's happening with interest rates and how interest rates, they went down. The Federal Reserve on September 18th dropped 0.5% on the Fed funds rate. And at that time, they were looking at like 3.7 was the 10-year Treasury yield. And on this call this morning, they were talking about the idea that, well, interest rates have gone up since then, as if that is a surprise to anybody. If you are a listener of Ron Siegel Radio, surprise. No, you're not surprised by that, because historically, right after the first rate cut, interest rates go up. They actually tend to go up by about 37 basis points. I'm looking at the numbers. Let's see. In 1984, they went up. The 10-year Treasury right after the first cut went up 31 basis points. In 1987, 37 basis points. 1989, 37 basis points. 1995, 41. 2001, 40. 2007, 22. 2019 was the only time they went down 18 basis points. 2020, they went up 16. And in 2024, they're up 36 basis points. So the average percent after the first cut is 37%. Okay, then what do? Well, they go down. Over time, they are going to go down. They just don't go down right away. So don't get too excited. Now, if you're thinking about getting a new home loan, well, number one, it's probably premature. Why do I say it's premature? And I lead a lending team. So why would I say it's premature? Because I know history. Anybody that's out there telling you jump into this market right now because of what's going on with the interest rates, well, you might want to wait just a little bit. That's why we consistently tell you, have a strategy. Now, if your strategy is to get out of debt and do a debt consolidation loan, well, I've been telling you that for 6 months that you should have been doing that. So rsrnodebt.com, rsrnodebt.com. We've been talking about that. You can go to RSR two-step, rsrlinks.com/two-step, rsrlinks.com/two-step. Why do I keep talking about this? Why is it over and over again? Because we try to help you build wealth through debt management. That's our mantra at Ron Siegel Radio, helping you build wealth through debt management. If you've got a loan and you've got credit card debt, which I know you do, or at least 80% do, right? The vast majority of American credit card debt is at an all-time high right now. So you keep watching these things and you say, okay, well, why is that the case? Why do you have so much equity in your property? And you could even go out and right now get a 6, 7, 8% loan. I don't know what you qualify for, but you can get a loan in there, buy down the rate if you have to. I don't think that's a good idea right now, but figure out what the numbers are. Figure out, if you go and do that two-step, what is your blended household interest rate? More important, how many dollars does it take to pay off your debt, your service your debt every month? How many dollars? When you understand those numbers, then you start saying, okay, all I care about right now is the cash flow. Because more often than not, people, if you roll your car payments, your student loan payments, public ones, not your private ones, not your public ones, roll those private student loan payments. You roll in your credit card debt, unsecured debt, roll that all into your mortgage where you've got equity. And it really doesn't matter what the interest rate is right now because your payments will drop. And you're going to put more of that money, that savings, toward the principal. So the principal will drop. And then 6 or 12 months from now, if history repeats itself and interest rates are lower, we just redo the loan again. RSR2step.com. RSR2step.com. That is our method, or one of our methods that we use at Ron Siegel Radio to help you build wealth through strategic debt management. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, why a condo could be your perfect first home. Helicopter money. How financial helicopter parenting hinders your child's financial independence. Smart gifting strategies. We're getting into tax season right now. How to build wealth and avoid tax pitfalls. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates, with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They give us the number that goes into your mortgage calculator to figure out that principal and interest payment. Well, let's take a look. What did the rates lock at on Friday? That's the latest data that we have. Friday's rate locks, well, let's take a look. 30-year conforming, 6.417. That is the 30-year conforming. The 30-year jumbo. Why is my screen going so slow here? Do we have those, Josh? Okay. I think we've got those. They're gonna show up for us in just a second. Every once in a while, the numbers hide on us. The 30-year jumbo on Friday down 6.625. 30-year FHA, that was down 6.153. 30-year VA, that was up 5.96. And the 30-year USDA loan, that's the rural areas, generally no down payment. That one was up 6.629. There's your numbers for you as of Friday. Scoreboard, 3 up and 2 down. It's kind of like the Dodgers. Oh, I digress, although I'm not a Dodger fan. Okay, let's see. And if you want our commentary every morning, as early as the data allows. Now, markets have to be open, so we don't always put it out if the bond market is not opened, just because we're looking to share great information with you, and we're talking about the bond market. So we may have a little bit of a report later today, but let's take a look and see what those numbers are. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the tout in there. rsrlinks.com/market minute. rsrlinks.com/market minute. That's if you want to get that report, get on our mailing list. It is free to you, but again, we put that out each weekday morning. Let's take a look and see. China expected to announce another round of stimulus measures to continue to put a floor under their stock and housing markets, which could pressure our bond market here. Last time they had an announcement, it helped the stock market and hurt bonds, as it was thought that it could cause China to consume more and drive up commodity prices. We'll have to keep an eye out this and see how the bonds react. We may start to see some diminishing effects. We did get on Friday the producer price index report, which measures wholesale prices or producer inflation. And that was unchanged in September, which was lower than the 0.1% expected. Looking at the decimals, it came in at 0.048. So it's barely rounded to 0%, but it was still beneath estimates and a tame monthly reading. Year over year, PPI was revised higher in August from 1.7 to 1.9 and then declined to 1.8%. In Friday's report for September, the upward revision did not help matters, and the 1.8% reading was hotter than the 1.6 the market was anticipating. Core rate strips out food and energy prices, rose 0.2% last month, which was in line with estimates. The actual monthly reading was 0.16%, which was very tame, and is 2% annualized year over year. Core PPI rose from 2.4 to 2.8, while it was expected to come in at 2.7. Big reason why the year over year jumped so much was a slightly negative reading at this time last year that was replaced. Bottom line, while there are fears that inflation is reemerging, it has been making a ton of progress and will not move lower in a straight line. The most significant development this week was that low shelter reading in CPI, which is likely the first signs that it's finally catching up to the market rents. And because shelter makes up almost 46% of core CPI, lower shelter readings will make it much, much easier to make progress on inflation. The Fed acknowledged this and said ahead of CPI that they were expecting shelter to finally start to catch up. Fed's favorite measure of inflation, PCE, the personal consumption expenditures, will be reported later this month on October 31st. The market is expecting headline PCE to fall to 2.1%, core PCE to fall to 2.6%, both good readings. PCE shares some of the same components as the PPI report, so the tame monthly figures could cause filter through into PCE and potentially cause a downside surprise, so long as the revisions in PPI do not impact things. Fed comments after the CPI report. On Thursday, slightly hotter than anticipated CPI inflation report. We heard from 4 different Fed presidents. The first 3 seemed unfazed, while Bostic is now calling for only one more 25 basis point cut this year instead of 2. Here are some highlights. New York Fed President John Williams, quote, month to month, there's wiggles and bumps in the data, but we've seen this pretty steady process of inflation moving. I expect that will continue, unquote. He added that it's appropriate to continue the process of moving the stance of monetary policy to a more neutral setting over time. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee, the overall trend for inflation over the last 12 to 18 months is clearly moving lower. He was not concerned with the slightly hotter CPI reading. Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin, quote, inflation is definitely headed in the right direction, unquote. And Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic, quote, I am totally comfortable with skipping a meeting if the data suggests that's appropriate, unquote. Bostic was calling for one more 25 basis point cut between the November 7th and the December 18th Fed meetings. Bottom line, the Fed is fickle and changes their tune quickly. We saw a hotter BLS jobs report, although we broke down why those numbers appear to be unreliable. The initial jobless claims report popped higher and showed an increase in firings, while the CPI and PPI inflation reports were a bit hotter than expected. But a cooler PCE later this month or a weak jobs report first week of November will cause the Fed to change their tune quickly. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. You know, remember that the numbers, they just don't flow in a straight line. They never do flow in that straight line. So we're going to see in the inflation numbers and the jobs numbers the differing methodologies. But one of the folks that I follow very, very closely, because she seems to have a great handle on what's going on in the marketplace, Danielle DiMartino Booth, she comes up with some really, really great information on what's going on. And I really like looking at her stuff because she's constantly giving us information as to what the Fed is looking at in the background. So let's take a look at what Danielle had to say today. And it is a subscription. So as I've mentioned to you many, many times before, that I don't think you really get great data when you're watching the media on TV anymore or cable. Every one of them is skewed in some way or another. Whatever you want to hear, turn on the station and you'll get it. So you have to go to paid subscriptions and find out what they're having to say. So what did we hear from Danielle? Again, she worked for the Federal Reserve for a long time. And her article basically was the teenage IDK of the economy. Uncertainty looms large in today's financial landscape. If you're a parent of a teenager, you're probably all too familiar with the acronym IDK. I don't know. Whether it's about their day at school, their future plans, or even the mysterious disappearance of your favorite coffee mug, IDK seems to be a universal response, but as frustrating as this can be, there's some scientific backing to this lack of clarity. Teenagers' brains, especially their frontal lobes, the center of decision-making, problem-solving, and impulse control, are still under construction, won't fully develop into their late 20s or even 30s. Interestingly, this tendency to answer IDK resonates with a much larger group today, U.S. consumers. A recent Michigan, UMich, consumer survey reveals a striking level of uncertainty about the economic future, with Americans, much like our teenagers, not entirely sure what's next. The lack of clarity surrounding the short and long-term outlooks has reached unprecedented levels, echoing the brain development of adolescence, an unfinished, unpredictable work in progress. Economic outlook is a massive IDK. Let's dive into the numbers. In October's preliminary UMich report, 51% of respondents expressed uncertainty about the business condition over the next year. This percentage is more than 11 times the historic average of 4%. Long-term uncertainty extending to the 5-year horizon was even higher at 59%, or 5 times the long-term average of 11%. This overwhelming sense of not knowing where the economy is headed is nothing short of staggering. Yet despite this ambiguity about the future of business conditions, households seem oddly calm when it comes to their expectations for the job market. About 53% foresee little to no change in the employment rate over the next 12 months, which is only slightly above the historic trend of 47%. This disparity, the belief that the economy is uncertain but the job market will remain steady, seems almost contradictory. How can we expect the broader economy to struggle while jobs stay stable? It's a classic case of seeing the economy in isolation from its job market, much like teenagers often separate one area of their life from another. The unemployment puzzle? September saw some relief on the job cut front, with announced job cuts totaling 50,355, only to be overtaken by October's early numbers of 51,780 in the first 12 days alone. While fewer layoffs might have contributed to the easing of fears about higher unemployment, this relief could be short-lived. UMich's data supports this. The percentage of consumers expecting higher unemployment dropped from 35% in September to 31% in early October, a level consistent with historic trends. Yet, macroeconomic indicators such as rising job cut announcements and the highest bankruptcy filings since 2012 suggest a storm could be brewing. Income risks, which are closely tied to unemployment prospects, paint a particularly concerning picture. When more people are leaving their jobs voluntarily, good unemployment, rather than being laid off, bad unemployment, income prospects tend to improve, but recent trends indicate a shift toward more job losses, signaling that income risks are on the rise, which could eventually feed into higher unemployment down the line. Interest rates easing for now. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve's policies are front and center in consumers' minds. According to UMich, recent interest rate cuts have been welcomed by many. The percentage of consumers mentioning high interest rates as a deterrent to making large purchases such as homes, cars, or major household items has fallen. But before we pop the champagne, it's worth noting that improvement is modest, and most consumers still believe that interest rates are too high to make home buying conditions significantly better. Despite small gains in sentiment for home purchases, we're far from out of the woods. The same goes for cars and large household durables, where negative sentiment remains entrenched. In short, while there's been some temporary relief, the underlying belief is that prospective home buyers, car buyers, and even those looking for big-ticket household items need more substantial rate cuts before they feel confident enough to pull the trigger. Income expectations. That's a worrisome decline. Perhaps the most troubling aspect of the University of Michigan's findings lies in the income expectations. In October, a key metric tracking consumers' views of their current financial situation in relation to their income turned negative for the first time in this cycle. The measure dropped -3 in October, reflecting significant financial strain on American households. Historically, the sharp declines in this metric have often preceded recessions, with similar drops occurring before the economic downturns in 1981, 1991, 2001, and 2008 and 9. Given that income expectations are closely tied to spending power and consumer confidence, this decline could be a leading indicator of economic trouble. As job cuts rise and income expectations fall, the economic landscape becomes even murkier. The relationship between job losses and income deterioration could spell more pain for households in the coming months, especially if the broader economy does slow down as expected. Bottom line, preparing for an uncertain future, just as teenagers grapple with the challenges of growing up and making sense of the world around them, American consumers are facing their own period of economic uncertainty with record levels of I don't know responses about business conditions and a tenuous outlook for income and jobs. It's clear that we're in for a rocky ride. But there's a silver lighting. Just as parents help guide their teenagers through their formative years, you can also find support in navigating this uncertain economic environment. As a certified liability advisor, I specialize in helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Understanding the role of debt that debt plays in your financial journey can help you not only weather the storm, but also strive. Let's plan your next chapters together. Don't wait for the economy to tell you where it's going. Take control of your financial future now. Reach out today and let's build a plan tailored to your unique needs so you can turn uncertainty into opportunity. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, why a condo could be your perfect first home. Helicopter money, how financial helicopter parenting hinders your child's financial independence. And smart gifting strategies. It's tax time. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference in the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Why a condo could be your perfect first home. If you're looking to break into home ownership, but the price of a single-family home has you second guessing, you might want to consider a condominium, like a condo or a townhome. These types of homes often come with a lower barrier to entry, and that can help you start to build equity and enjoy the benefits of owning a home sooner. Since they're usually smaller than single-family homes, they can be easy on your wallet. While it's not always the case, smaller square footage usually comes with a smaller price tag. As a result, according to the latest data from Realtor.com, condos typically have a lower asking price than the single-family homes. Take a look at the graph if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 or FM 98.1 video feeds. Condos have a lower barrier to entry. There's some exciting news. Builders are focusing more on homes like these. The National Association of Home Builders, NAHB, says, quote, the share of townhomes being built is at an all-time high. That means there's a good number of options to add to your home search if you broaden it to include condos and townhomes, and you may even find something that works better for your budget. So, if you're comfortable with a smaller space and want to buy your first home before the spring rush, adding these types of homes to the home search might be your answer. The perks of the condo lifestyle. Living in a condo has a bunch of other perks. Let's look closer at why condos are appealing for first-time buyers. They help you start building equity. When you buy a condo or townhome, you build equity and your net worth as you make your mortgage payments and as your condo's value goes up over time. They can be low maintenance. Condos are great if you want to own your place, but don't want to mow the lawn, shovel snow, or fix the roof. Your real estate agent can help explain any of the associated fees and details for the condos you're interested in. They usually come with a range of amenities. Your condo might come with access to a pool, dog park, or parking. And the best part, you don't have to take care of any of them. They create a sense of community. Buying a condo means you'll be living close to other people, which is nice if you want more close-knit feel. Many communities like these hold fun events, such as barbecues and parties, to help create that sense of connection among residents. Remember, your first home doesn't have to be the one that you stay in forever. The important thing is to get your foot in the door as a homeowner so you can start to gain home equity. Later on, that equity can help you buy another place if you want something different. Ultimately, owning and living in a condo or townhome is a lifestyle choice. If you want to see if it makes sense for you, give us a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Ready to find a home that suits your goals? A condo might be the perfect fit for your first home purchase. Again, give me a call. I'll help you walk you through that and then put you in touch with a great real estate professional in the area that you're looking in, and I know them anywhere in the sound of my voice. And yes, I know this is the World Wide Web. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Helicopter Money, how financial helicopter parenting hinders your child's financial independence. As the school year kicks off and parents drop their children off at college, we often find ourselves bombarded with stories of well-meaning yet over-involved parenting. Recently, I came across a post in a college parent forum that was a mix of both amusement and bewilderment. One mom shared how her son's roommate had brought an Xbox to the dorm, something she found so disruptive that she drove several hours just to confront him. She wasn't too pleased when her son's roommate didn't appreciate her interference. Another mom admitted she calls her daughter daily just to make sure she's waking up on time for class. These stories aren't one-offs. The comments range from utter disbelief, what is wrong with these people, to complete acceptance. Yes, this is just how parenting is done now. Let's be honest. A little judgment is inevitable when you hear stories like these, but behind the judgment lies a very real issue. Helicopter parenting. Extensive research shows that over-controlling parenting, especially during adolescence, does more harm than good. As children grow, they need autonomy to build confidence, develop problem-solving skills, and learn how to deal with life's inevitable challenges. That autonomy, or lack of it, becomes crucial to their emotional well-being and financial success as they transition into adulthood. Helicopter parenting and money, setting the wrong financial expectations. Overparenting doesn't just show up in everyday life, it often extends to finances as well. We all want to protect our kids from discomfort, but solving all their financial problems can form a helicopter parenting that's just as damaging. By constantly bailing them out of tough financial situations, you're preventing them from learning important lessons about money. Just like learning to navigate difficult social situations, children also need to develop a healthy relationship with money, understanding how to save, budget, and deal with scarcity. Dr. Becky Kennedy, a renowned parenting expert, recently touched on this topic during an interview with Sam Parr on the MoneyWise podcast. She emphasized that if your approach to parenting, especially financially, is driven by the desire to make your child happy at all the time, you're doing more harm than good. This approach may teach your child to become incapable of handling frustration or discomfort, a trait that will follow them into childhood. Expecting children to constantly feel happy is a burden that can lead to anxiety. If they don't experience financial boundaries, they might fear money altogether. I'm not just good with financial stuff, or develop an unhealthy obsession with it. Like, I don't need to be rich and have all the latest luxuries. By constantly stepping in, you deny them the opportunity to learn key life skills that are necessary for financial success in adulthood, including budgeting, prioritizing, and managing debt. Scarcity, the greatest teacher in financial management. Neil Godfrey, author of The Money Doesn't Grow on Trees, shared an important principle in her 1994 bestseller, Scarcity is a Great Teacher. In simpler terms, constantly fulfilling every financial desire of your child, whether it's designer clothes or the latest tech gadgets on front row concert tickets, takes away critical learning opportunities. Teaching children the value of saving for what they want fosters resourcefulness and builds emotional resilience. Financial helicopter parenting, like giving a child unrestricted access to your credit card, especially when it's conveniently stored in their phone's digital wallet, reinforces a dangerous assumption. Money is always readily available. This mindset can lead to poor financial decision-making as they grow older, including accruing unnecessary debt or feeling the need to keep up with the Joneses. Setting financial boundaries is a path to building wealth, much like the broader boundaries we set for our children to ensure they grow up as responsible individuals. Financial boundaries are essential for fostering independence without boundaries. You risk going both crazy and broke, but more importantly, you miss the chance to teach your child valuable lessons in managing their own finances. Here are a few strategies that they have been implemented with kids to build financial autonomy. Budgeting skills. Wow, does that sound like First Home IQ? rsrlinks.com/myfhiq. rsrlinks.com/fhiq. I think I gave that out wrong, didn't I, Josh? rsrlinks.com/fhiq is the link to get that. Budgeting skills. We transitioned from a weekly allowance to a monthly one, which allows their son or daughter to understand how to manage a budget over a longer period. And planning to introduce budgeting apps as he or she grows older so they can track their spending and learn financial discipline, clear spending rules. While the children don't have access to credit cards through the digital wallet, we have strict guidelines about when it can be used. They're there for emergencies, earning extra money, extra in-app purchases for games, not without a catch. digital banking, open financial conversations, all there. Supporting financial growth without becoming a crutch. As parents, we all dread the day our children leave home, and I was no exception. The thought of my sons in college dorm or facing financial challenges on their own gives us pause, yet I know it's a necessary part of growing up. They need the experience, both the highs and the lows, from eating cheap ramen noodles to navigating the discomfort of a low bank balance. There is nothing wrong with offering support. After all, as parents, we're meant to guide and encourage our kids. However, we need to avoid becoming the crutch they lean on for every financial issue. Bottom line, let's set up a plan for them. As a certified liability advisor, we like to help families build wealth through strategic debt management. With the right guidance and financial education, you can teach your children to be financially independent while securing your own financial future. Give me a call and let's discuss a plan for you. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, smart gifting strategies, how to build wealth and avoid tax pitfalls. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Smart gifting strategies, how to build wealth and avoid tax pitfalls. On Ron Siegel Radio, we help you navigate the complexities of home ownership, financing, retirement planning, and most importantly, building a secure financial future for you and your family. Today, we're diving into a topic that's commonly misunderstood, yet vital for those looking to pass on wealth while avoiding unnecessary tax complications. The gift tax. And I will throw the caveat in there. I am not a tax consultant. I'm not a CPA or an enrolled agent. I'm going to give you the information as I know it. You do need to check with your own tax professionals. You may have heard that giving money to family members or loved ones could result in a hefty tax bill. But that's not always the case. With the right strategy, you can provide financial support without worrying about gift tax liabilities. As a certified liability advisor, I'm here to help families like yours understand how to leverage these laws to their benefit, preserving your wealth while adhering to the rules. Why does gift taxes exist? First, let's get clear on why there's a tax on gifts. The government created a gift tax to prevent people from simply transferring all their wealth during their lifetime to avoid estate taxes when they pass away. In essence, it acts as a safeguard to ensure large estates are taxed. However, most families will never actually face a tax bill on gifts thanks to the annual and lifetime exclusions available. What are the limits? The annual gift tax exclusion currently sits at $18,000 per individual recipient in 2024. That means you can gift up to $18,000 to as many people as you like each year without needing to report it to the IRS. Even better, these gifts won't reduce your lifetime gift and estate tax exemption, which is an impressive $13.61 million per person in 2024. For most people, these exemptions make it possible to transfer wealth to children, grandchildren, or loved ones without worry of taxes, but navigating the nuances of these rules requires careful planning, especially for larger gifts. Let's take a look at the options. Common gifting methods, how to avoid pitfalls. When it comes to gifting, there are several ways you can structure the gift, each with its own pros and cons. Number one is direct gifts. The simplest option is a direct gift, whether it's writing a check or transferring funds. These gifts are straightforward but come with a loss of control. Once the gift is made, the recipient can do whatever they wish with it, which might expose the gift to creditors, divorce, or poor decision making. Number two, gifts in trusts. Trusts offer more control over how the recipient can access and use the gifted assets. For example, placing money in a trust for a grandchild may ensure they only have access to it when they reach a certain age or under certain specific conditions. However, gifts and trusts come with their own set of rules, particularly around whether the gift qualifies for the annual exclusion. Trusts can also introduce complication that may require the filing of IRS Form 709 if not structured correctly. Number three, special exemptions, education, and medical gifts. If you want to make a truly impactful gift while avoiding tax reporting altogether, consider paying for someone's education or medical expenses. By paying a child's tuition directly to the school or covering medical bills paid directly to a provider, these gifts are not only tax-free, but also don't count toward your annual or lifetime exclusions. Super funding 529 plans, a smart strategy for education. An additional clever gifting strategy is contributing to 529 college savings plans. Under the 529 super funding rule, you can contribute up to 5 years worth of annual exclusion gifts up front, $90,000 per individual to be exact. This is a powerful tool for grandparents or parents looking to make a significant tax-efficient contribution to their child or grandchild's future education. However, one thing to note, if you pass away before the 5-year period is up, a portion of those funds might be counted back into your estate. So while this is an excellent strategy for many, it's essential to factor in your health and long-term plans before going this route. Gift splitting. Maximizing your exclusions as a couple, one often overlooked strategy is gift splitting for couples. Spouses contribute their annual exclusions, effectively doubling the amount they can give tax-free. For instance, a couple could gift $36,000 to each of their children every year, doubling their ability to transfer wealth without reducing their lifetime exemption. But be careful, gift splitting does require IRS Form 709 to report the split. This form is generally easy to fill out, but it's an essential step to ensure compliance with the laws. When you should file a Form 709, make sure you talk to your tax people about it. Strategic gifting is about planning and peace of mind. If you're ready to start building wealth through strategic debt management and tax-efficient gifting, give me a call today. Let's make sure your family's financial future is as bright as you've always dreamed. Again, as a certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management, let's work together to ensure your financial legacy is secure and sustainable for generations to come. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A special thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering this today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.